as entrepreneurs, we're out there every day. We want to make a huge difference. But if you're like most entrepreneurs, we're a little frustrated. We feel like we're the best kept secret out there. And we know if we just did something a little bit different, we could do amazing things. We could make a real difference in even more clients. Well, today, you're going to have some answers on how you can do that extremely effectively. See, as a best kept secret, you don't need to be that. We're going to show you today. I've got a remarkable entrepreneur. She's amazing. The last 2 years, she's won the prestigious Inc. magazine's 5,000 list of America's fastest growing companies. She's won all kinds of entrepreneur awards, but she's really best known for being the queen of sales conversion. And what that means to you is that the ability to not only attract people, so you're no longer the best kept secret, but more importantly, to convert them, the right people, to be your client so that you can make a huge difference. That's what we're all about here at AESNation.com. I'm John Bowen, and stay tuned because you are going to know the step-by-step process of making a huge difference.
Ordinary success? No way. You want amazing, remarkable, exceptional breakthroughs. Dig deep, think bold, drive hard, watch yourself soar beyond your dreams. AESNation.com.
Lisa, I am so excited to be here with you. I've had the pleasure of meeting you at Joe Polish's, well, actually it's Strategic Coach Dan Sullivan, Joe Polish's 25K. We had the chance to have dinner together. I was just blown away with everything you're doing, and I was taking notes, I'd like to say for my audience here, but it was more for me in my own enlightened self-interest, how I could make a huge difference in my businesses. But first of all, Lisa, thank you for taking time off to join us today.
My pleasure. You know, when you whipped out that pen and started taking notes over those raviolis on your napkin, you told me it was for your clients. I was wondering if you were really going to use a few of those strategies on your own.
I don't mind the raviolis on the napkin. It's when it's on the shirt that it really just doesn't work here. But Lisa, you know, one of the things that you have, you know, I want to go into a little bit of the backstory of how you got to where you are, because I mean, you're delivering tremendous value now, but you had a lot of hurdles to get to where you are, and some of those life intrudes and lessons along the way that makes us who we are, and that's I think why you're so effective. So share with us a little bit of how you became the queen of sales conversion.
You know, I took a pretty traditional path, went to college in San Diego, always wanted to stay in San Diego and live in which I do now. I'm talking to you from my home in La Jolla, California. It doesn't suck. You know, but it's funny. People told me early on, you should, you know, hang out in the neighborhoods where you want to live. And I used to drive all the way from San Diego State, about a half hour down to the coast in La Jolla, and come running up through the beautiful houses in this neighborhood. And it's crazy to say that many years later, here I am, you know, living on one of those streets I used to run through. So, you know, I think that came from a lot of good advice in the personal development space. So I'm a child of doing many seminars, reading a lot of self-help books, and, you know, a lot of that was prompted for me from, you know, something that happened in my life really young that was hard. My mom passed away when I was 19, and, you know, it was very unexpected. And, you know, I was just kind of coming to the end of college, and I think inside I just thought, I still need parenting. And so, you know, I turned to fabulous workshops and courses that I was lucky enough to get introduced to, and really started to develop myself and learn things like that. You know, with my mom's passing, it's really interesting when, you know, someone that close to you dies. And I just remember when we were at her memorial service, and, you know, I was sort of like observing everything going on, And the thing that kept ringing in my head, John, was how people were talking about how awesome she was, what an amazing woman she was, great contributor, you know, always from her little cubicle she worked in the aerospace industry as a drafting person. She would be like selling stuffed animals and selling watches and donating all the money to charity. She always had like a boutique going on. The biggest buzz that I heard right next to how amazing she was is all the things that, wow, if she only could have, you know, and really I wish she would have, and she should have, and just all the potential that people saw for her that just never got realized. And you know, I something lit in me. I didn't see it till years later, but it turned a switch in me that I am not going to live a woulda, coulda, shoulda life. Like, I'm going to go for it. And from that time, whether I was the youngest person, you know, in a personal development seminar, or the youngest top salesperson, I worked with Pfizer, I worked with Hewlett Packard, you know, I got hired in sales and marketing out of college. I just always went for it. Even when I wanted to leave corporate and I started to go work for some personal development, relationship teaching companies that were teaching people how to better their lives. You know, I was always the youngest, you know, enrolling the most people. So it lit something in my type A personality that, you know, this is not a dress rehearsal and we get one shot. And it's been interesting if you look at what I do and what our company does, it's very consistent with that belief, you know, that when someone comes to you, when someone's open or interested in what you do, how you can help them, I'm not interested in a long, drawn out cycle of showing them how that can work. You know, I really want to take the responsibility to give them what they need to see the possibility, step into it, say yes on the spot, you know, and then that's kind of what our whole company is really about. It's funny how it all springs from,
Oh,
you know,
it
times
has.
early in
Yeah.
life,
And
you
one of the
know?
things that, I mean, you've been, you know, so inspiring for so many people. And you really, you know, it's that, you know, your background has made you what you are today. And what I really love, though, Lisa, is that, you know, you're all about action.
Yes.
And, you know, I want to go to that because as entrepreneurs, you know, we can have great conversations with people. And, you know, I always think of marketing is starting a conversation, but marketing doesn't, you know, marketing is just getting started. It's really sales that make things happen. Unless a sale is made, no action is taken. And what I love about your positioning and what you do is that you really go right to the heart of the challenge, because there's 7 billion people out there. There's plenty of people to do business with, you know, whatever product or service you have as an entrepreneur. But how do you cause conversion? So let me take a step back, though, and let's talk about what is a sales conversion, so we
Sure.
just get everybody on the same page.
Yeah, I mean, what we're talking about when we say sales conversion, you know, many of you have successful companies, you're already paying attention to it. You call it your closing ratio. You know, it's what percentage of the people that you're talking to are actually becoming paying clients. And what I love about focusing in on sales conversion, and I think it's the best investment that a company can make to see the biggest returns the fastest and help the most people, is that, you know, if you're talking to 10 prospective clients, and I don't, whether you're talking to them one by one, they're coming into your office, or you're on the phone, or you have an opportunity to make a presentation to 10 prospective clients, you know, whether 3 of them actually become paying clients or 7 of them become paying clients is totally transformational for your business, your profits, and for them. And it doesn't take you any extra time. It's really a strategy. It's really about, what can I do to make sure I give them what they need to be able to make a decision on the spot. And you might be thinking, hey, I'm in an industry where, you know, we have conferences and meetings and POs have to, you know, come out of the back office. And, you know, we're not an on the spot industry. So Lisa, I'm not sure if this is for me, but hold on, because, you know, you really got to think about, what is that action that they can commit to on the spot? Maybe it's coming in to an appointment, or an appointment with you, but they're coming in so committed and so pre-qualified because of how it came about. Or maybe there's something that you're thinking couldn't happen on the spot, and Today I can show you that it actually could. Maybe you can shorten what used to be a really long sales cycle and actually doesn't have to be anymore. But sales conversion is really just about, so it's about service. It's about giving that prospective client what they need to be empowered, to step forward, to say yes, not to you, but to themselves, right? It's really about them having what they need to give that transformation for themselves, for their business, to themselves. And I think what blocks a lot of people is the belief that somehow we're trying to get somebody to say yes to me, that it's personal, that it's a yes or no to me, especially for those of you that are selling your own products and services. It's such a different thing than selling, a TV for Best Buy. It feels personal, right?
It really does. And as a matter of fact,
Yeah.
when I was sitting with you, Lisa, it was so much fun because I do a lot of webinars, and with the ideas that you're going to share with our listeners and viewers, I mean, I was sitting there and I'm pretty sure it's going to double my conversion. And this is, I'm now able to inspire people that I wasn't going to inspire, which is kind of shame on me because they could use our valuable service to really be even more successful. But if I don't have them take action, nothing happens. And that's the power of sales conversions. And tell me, why you got so passionate with the whole marketing and sales, the background that you have. Why did you focus in on like a laser, the sales conversion part?
I just think that I watch so many entrepreneurs, and now I mean we've got clients in 134 countries, right? I've watched so many entrepreneurs with the pain of feeling so busy, and they're doing all kinds of things, and I'm at my new standing desk, so I can actually jump up and down. Can't do that sitting down.
No, I can go like this, maybe. That's about it. Here, you don't get the full body here.
Yes. So, but I watch the pain as they say, oh my God, I'm doing too many things. I have them, I'm on Facebook and I'm doing my blog and my podcast and, all these things to get out there, and they're not making money. And they're feeling, like you said, like a best kept secret. They feel like they're reinventing the wheel all the time. And, the thing that changes it all is if they'll just pause all of that lead generation and lead attraction, client attraction activity, and fix their sales conversion machine. You've got to have a sales conversion machine. You've got to have, there's two parts to it, an irresistible offer that you're driving to, and you're not just going to make that offer in a vacuum. You've got to have a presentation. We call it your signature talk that leads to it. And once you have those things and they work, you can use those on a teleseminar, a webinar, a live stage, a one-on-one conversation, a video training, an interview. Everything you do should be reverse engineered, built backwards to lead to your irresistible offer in a way that's not pushy, not salesy, but really serves the transformation of that person. And why I love that piece is because I'm a child of transformation. I love possibility. I can't not. So it's the part when someone makes a decision that their life transforms, that their finances transform, that their business transforms, that their family or their relationships transforms. If we don't get to a decision, it's a bunch of interesting, taking notes, let's do lunch, nothing's happening. It's really when there's a decision that possibility doesn't just open, but the chance for actual transformation happens. And that's the piece that I care about. So, I'm saying it's great that everybody's doing all that stuff to get out there, but if you don't have an irresistible offer, a presentation that leads to it, what's the point of attracting all those people?
And the thing there's nothing more frustrating as an entrepreneur where you've painted this future, of possibilities. The future could be better.
Yes.
And you do all these activities and you get the marketing going and you're sharing your vision with a whole bunch of people, but nothing's happening. So,
right.
Lisa, you're talking about, we've got about 10,000 entrepreneurs now watching and listening to our podcast, and they're full, professional services, some financial, everything, including widget makers. And what but they're kind of, I know I did when you started talking about this. I'm going, what is an irresistible offer? I mean, how does that come in with what I'm doing already today?
Well, there's two parts to the word, right? There's offer and there's irresistible. So the offer piece is really referring to what is that unique transformation that your business, your service offers, unique from what anybody else does. And when you couple that with how you deliver it, is it in your office one-on-one? Is it through a teleseminar, an ebook, a product? We put that together, the transformation you provide plus how you provide it, that together makes your offer. And we all have an offer. We have some difference we make, plus how we make it, and we all have an offer. And what I'd love to share today, if we've got a few minutes, is how do you take your offer and make it irresistible? How do you have to think about it to start getting on that page so that you can, instead of being pushy, what about now? Hey, I'm sending you that email now to see if you're ready. All that pursuing. What if you reversed it and your offers were irresistible so that your prospective clients were pursuing you? You were inviting pursuit, instead of following up to ad nauseum. So I've got a couple tips.
I think everybody's ready for those now, Lisa, because this is something where we look at it and we go, I like that idea of, I'm okay with making an offer because I'm going to create great value. And, the only way as entrepreneurs we build valuable businesses, have great net income, higher equity values, is we've got to create value for our clients. That the part though that gets me really excited is that irresistible. So what are a few of the tips on how we can make our offers irresistible?
Absolutely. Well, let's dive in with three simple things. And this is really, I'll call it, the formula for being able to either make your offer irresistible, but you can also look through this lens when an offer's coming at you. So I want to give you some distinctions so it doesn't just look like this blob that's coming that you're sending out. You're doing it quick because you don't want to, you feel guilty, you feel bad to sell. No, what about if it's a disservice not to make your offer? If it's a disservice to open up possibility and then not show someone the next steps to take. And if you come from that mindset, not to mention, there's this whole part that if you're not making an offer, if you're just out there educating the world, guess what? You're opening the possibility, and you know what you're doing at the same time? The heavy lifting for your competition. You're doing all the work to open people's minds, and someone else who is making offers says, oh yeah, you like what he said about getting a new roof? Here's a special irresistible offer if you want to do it today. And the next thing you know, you did all the work. That newbie got all the business. You're the 25-year veteran. The newbie got all the business. So here's the steps to change that. Super, super simple. First of all, you want to look at your offer, your irresistible offer, as having three parts. So the first part, John, we call the main dish. Okay, this is the offer itself. It's not quite on the page of irresistible, but you've got to identify what's the main dish. What is the main way that I'm going, that the person's going to get that transformation? Again, is it 10 sessions with me? Is it a 3-day training? Is it a product that I sell? Is it a service that I offer? How do they get the main dish? In our courses, people come and study with us. A lot of times it's virtual, so it's online. Our main dish, in many cases, is online through modular courses that are coupled with Q&A teleclasses to help people apply it. That's one of our main dish models, right? So that's an example. So once you've distinguished the main dish, what is the main way you are going to deliver that outcome, that destination that they want, then you start getting on the map to irresistible with steps 2 and 3. I'll tell you about both of them, give you some examples. Step 2, there's the main dish. Now you want to start thinking about number 2, which is bonuses. Okay, bonuses are really something that the person who wanted the main dish, they would want that too. It's something that they would probably buy anyway. It makes sense for them. It's tightly related. And we don't need a whole slew of bonuses like you see in days of old where people say, buy my thing for $47 and you get $50,000 worth of bonuses. We're kind of onto that one. So, let's treat our clients with, more intelligence, more respect than that, and have bonuses that are really related. So for example, we have a program that teaches people how to design their irresistible offer, and then to reverse engineer a talk that leads to it, right? So they've got the whole thing, the offer and the talk. We call this your sales conversion machine, right? Main dish, they can come out to a 3-day live event, or they can learn it on a 5-part teleseries. Bonus, started thinking, well, what would people who now have this new presentation and this offer want? What would be that next thing they'd really want? And what we found is people were coming to us saying, how do I get booked? What's the best way to get in front of audiences of my ideal clients? So we created, looking at all of the success that we've had in getting me booked, our Get Booked Toolkit. And we can see that we can offer this independently as its own product, $497. People can come and buy the Get Booked Toolkit, but when they're in the face of the irresistible offer for our course called Speak to Sell, we'll offer it up as a bonus for fast action takers, somebody who they know they want it now. Why not just go for it? I want it. If I wait till tomorrow, I don't get the Get Booked Toolkit, and I know I'm probably going to end up buying that. So we're starting to get on the map with irresistible when we add tightly related bonuses. And then there's a third piece, and I'll show you an example from another industry that I think will really drive it home. The third piece I want to make sure you know about next is limiters. And if there's one thing, like the biggest mistake people make when they try to get into this world of making an offer, they're worried they're going to sound pushy or salesy. And trust me, this formula will leave you feeling totally of service, because you don't need to pressure people. You put it out there, and if it's for them, they come forward. If it's not, it'll be pretty clear. So limiters, last piece, there's really two kinds of limiters. Limiters are something that have a limit to when this bonus and this special offer is available. And the two categories of limiters, I would jot these down. One is time. So it might be, look, if you can get this proposal wrapped up by Friday and get back to us, I'm going to throw in an extra half day of coaching for your support staff, since I'll be coming out anyway. If you decide now, I can book early, stay that extra day, and I'll be happy to, pass that on to you. So it might be something like that where you're moving a proposal forward, or it could be something a lot quicker, like a limiter of quantity. That's the other one, time and quantity. Quantity might be like, look, I'm home for about 4 days. I was able to find 6 appointments in my calendar. For those of you that want to come find out how you could be saving more on taxes and see how our firm might help you. So, when I finish up, if you'd like to go in the back, I've got all the appointments there. You're welcome to grab one. I've got 6, right? So there may be a limiter of quantity. And sometimes you can put them together. The quantity and the time together, I'll show you the advanced move, would be something like, hey, for those of you that would like to start our Weight Off Now program, today, not only do you get $100 off, but I have a pedometer available. I've got 16 of them here. So, for those of you that really know you want to start walking the pounds off right now, just jump in. You can strap on that pedometer and start counting your steps. Watch the fat melt away right now. So these are some ways that you can start thinking about making your offer irresistible. And I think one of my favorite examples was a cosmetic laser clinic. I'm sure there are many of you listening who are in the medical profession. It's easy to say, well, we can't do this in the medical profession. In fact, there's probably people listening who are saying, we can't do this. I work with, very wealthy CEOs, or I work with the spiritual community, or I work with the medical profession. Whatever you're saying, let me tell you, we have had people succeed in all of those areas by applying just this one piece to their business and radically increasing their sales conversion. So I remember going into this cosmetic laser clinic where they did the non-surgical facelift, and they were trying to figure out, how can we sell more to the women we're already talking to? They had lots of traffic, not converting very well. I mean, they're not salespeople, right? Many of you would say the same thing about yourself. So we were able to craft up these evenings. They were called Cosmetic Laser soirees, where happy clients could bring in friends. The doctor would make a presentation about all the different awesome things that they could do without surgery to keep you looking young and healthy. And at the end, when they offered the non-surgical facelift, and again, they're totally averse to selling, they're not willing to do anything salesy, we just had a simple package that if you bought it tonight, you'd save, I think it was $800. It took it down to $3,200. You had a week to think about it, which, by the way, is a death blow. right? But he kept saying it, so I had to fix it. So he said, but if you're ready tonight, not only do you get the $800 off, but we'll also throw in laser hair removal for you, of your lip, your underarm, one of these personal areas. That alone is a $1,200 thing if they decide to come later. There weren't many women who didn't want that, so they could wait a week and get $800 off, or they could decide tonight, push themselves just a little, and since we're there with our schedules out, we'll get them booked for both all at the same time. And we started, he used to have like 60 women come in and have about 5 sales. With this one strategy, literally just thinking the way I showed you, we started having them come in 12 at a time, and we'd have about 8 sales. So you can see he could do 5 of those from the 60 women, right? You can see it's kind of almost an embarrassing level of increase in his profit and conversion.
No, it is amazing. Now, one of the things, Lisa, I know everybody's thinking, well, geez, this was at a presentation. What sales situations can this combination of signature talk and ending with an irresistible offer? How is it just limited to speaking on at a podium or on stage or in an event like that?
We really designed Speak to Sell for non-speakers to use presentations to make their offer. But it's amazing the stories I hear. I just had an interior designer let me know that, and it's funny, it's someone that I watched build her career, watched her come through our courses. She just landed the Petco Pooch hotels, the doggy hotels. It was a 6-figure contract. Normally, as an interior designer, you have to give blood. You have to show everything before you get the deal, She was able to use a limiter and some bonuses and actually have them pull the request for proposals off the market in one conversation. The Pooch hotels are actually now done. You can go see them. They have big fire hydrants in every room. Instead of a private bath, they all have a fire hydrant. They're really cute. But it was a 6-figure contract, from using the principles.
Well, let me stop for a second, because I want every entrepreneur to think about that. Because when you go and you start thinking, okay, we all have different businesses. I doubt there are too many people doing interior design for dog hotels. Okay.
Well, she actually ended up designing interior designing my home.
Yeah.
It's just applying it to another.
Well, and that's the big point I want to make, Lisa, is this is really transferable to really any business. I mean, if a sale has to be made, this is a great tool. But let's go back to, just kind of the, what platform do we make this? Is it, she wasn't, I'm assuming when she was making the presentation and trying to get rid of the competition so she could really do a great job for the client, she wasn't on a stage.
No, not in that circumstance. Now, I'll tell you something that helped, though, was taking the same presentation. She bought herself a booth. It was really inexpensive. I mean, just hundreds of dollars at the San Diego, California Home Show, I think it was called, like a home design show at the convention center. She was literally like across from the hot dog stand in the hallway at lunch. But she got up on a little platform and did her presentation and had it filmed. Put it on her website with the sign behind her that she was at the San Diego Home Show. And that was actually the clincher for her credibility, was there she was speaking at the California Home Show, and it really closed the deal for her. So our models, we have, in fact, we've got something we call our work from home. We've done over $25 million of sales using this model from my home. So, like I said, we have clients all over the world. We've made the Inc. 500 fastest growing privately held companies in the United States twice. How? Really small team. It's because we point everything, John, to the irresistible offer. And if you think about it visually, we've got the irresistible offer as the main piece of our business model. And then we're really just using 3 different discovery models, which any entrepreneur can use to help people find us, to give them what they need, to say yes to themselves and point them toward the offer. So we use one-on-one, we call it high ticket selling. Those are conversations, very transformational. And we have a program called Impact and Influence that teaches that action sales secret model that leads to the offer. We have speaking, how to do one-to-many making your offer. That's our Speak to Sell program. Again, though, it leads to the irresistible offer. And then for people that decide they've been on the road too much, we've got people transforming, like one lady's transforming the automotive industry with like ISO 9000, courses where they used to only fly her across. They had to have her for $25,000 a day. Now she's able to get them for a couple $1,000s a member into her webinars. So we have our six-figure teleseminar webinar sales system. And again, all reverse engineered to point to the irresistible offer using what? Your phone and your computer. You can be on the beach in the Bahamas. No, you don't have to do your hair. I know that's a big concern for you.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Yes, it took a long time today. Yeah.
It looks fabulous today.
Thank you.
Mine, I'm not sure, but
Yeah, no, yours looks better. I'll just go leave it at that.
We get everything pointing to that offer. And the typical entrepreneurial business, people are reinventing new offers and new deals for everything they do. So, you're doing one presentation, it's leading to an offer, a deal over here. You're making another one-on-one call, it's over here. The next thing you know, your time is spent tracking and, all of this service, and you have, 80% of your time on that and only 20% on really getting out there in the way that that you're made to. So we can reverse that ratio. And it starts with getting clear on your irresistible offer. Like I said, having a way to lead to it, a presentation or a structured conversation. It's all about structure. Structure gives you freedom. That's the bottom line. So if you're winging it in your sales processes, it's not necessary. It's all figured out.
And really what's happened too, Lisa, what I love about what you're doing is, today the ability to keep track of data is just so powerful. And, there was a time where we could kind of go, lick our finger, test the marketing that way. And if there was enough revenue to keep the business growing and with some profit, that was great. Now we can look at every transaction, and whether you're using marketing automation software, using the internet, selling online, obviously all kinds of tools there, but even one-on-one, the CRMs that we have, we can really track this, and it becomes very, very powerful. Now, what I'd love to do is have you talk just for a moment, because you've written a great book. And let me push the button here for this little animation. Book of the day. And I know you've got your copy. I've got mine because I was.
Cheers!
Yeah, matter of fact, when we were together after dinner, I read it on the flight home. Lisa said, tell us what's in the book. And then I know we're going to go to resources, and you've got some additional tools that everybody listening can go. But what's in the book? Because that does such a good job of summarizing what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's great, given that we have a limited time. It's called Boost Your Sales, and in a minute we'll give you a resource where I'm going to give a copy to all of you. If you look at the title, it's How to Use Irresistible Offers Without Being Salesy. And it's really going to take what you heard from me today, what you're already integrating. I promise you that this stuff is like potent. It goes right in. But you're not going to be able to ever receive or give an offer again without thinking, do I have a main dish, a bonus, and a limiter? Don't forget the limiter. So this takes it even further and actually walks you through that process. Plus, what I love is the part about having the presentation that leads to the offer. So the book will actually walk you through the exact steps that you would need to take to, come up with your offer and then reverse engineer a presentation that leads seamlessly to it. And I'll tell you, the one caution I have from hearing me today is don't go out there with an existing keynote or an existing inspirational or educational presentation and tack an offer on the end, because it doesn't go well. People will be like, wow, you were so informational. It seemed like you cared, and now you've turned into the Ginsu knife, salesperson. What happened? And you're going to say, I learned it from Lisa Sasevich. No. So I'm telling you right now, the presentation actually has to be built to lead toward the offer. It becomes one thing, and that's what makes it authentic. It's the structure that allows you to be yourself, have fun, sell a ton, all at the same time. So just make sure to read the rest. This book is all of 68 pages, so you can get through it in an hour, but it's totally transformational for the way that you do business, and you can really stop thinking about selling and start thinking about serving people to be able to make a decision.
And it does. It's a great book, and it is an hour read. It's very powerful. It's going to get you thinking. But what I love, Lisa, to make some more more resources available. And why don't you tell us about what you're making available for the AES Nation community here?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I really appreciate what you're doing at AES Nation because, it is being entrepreneurs. We are doing such good things for the economy and for the world. So, just thank you. And to empower you with that and empower you in boosting your profits and your sales, all without being pushy or salesy, there's two different ways that you can continue to learn from us. One would be if you'd like to get a complimentary downloadable copy of this book, go to boostyoursalesbook.com/AES Nation. boostyoursalesbook.com/AES Nation. That's where we'll have this special offer set up just for you so that you can take today's training even further.
Well, and just let me just stop for a second.
Oh,
As
sure.
everybody knows, at aesnation.com, just wherever you're listening to this or watching it, you can go to aesnation.com. We've got to have the transcript, which you'll want from Lisa, for our interview today, as well as any show notes or any of these links. If you're driving your car, do not try to type it out, text it to yourself. Okay, so what else there? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no problem. I know sometimes folks really would prefer to learn in a little bit more of a class style. So I also put together as an option for you a webinar training where you can really get an experience of learning in a virtual classroom from me and taking this information deeper. And if you'd like to enjoy that, also my gift to you, it's boostyoursalestraining.com/AES Nation. So whether you'd like to take it further in the book, boostyoursalesbook.com, or the training, the webinar training, boostyoursalestraining.com/AES Nation on either one, that'll let us know that you came from here and, we'll be able to give you these gifts really as our compliments for the great work that John is doing here, how much we appreciate it. Of course, we want to help you kick butt and make more irresistible.
Well, we're going to make a difference together. Let me go with the last segment here, which is key takeaways. And boy, there's just so much. And I mean, Lisa, I love how you focus in on conversion. And I just really over the last 4 or 5 years have become so focused on data and having systems. And, I've always been big on conversion. But, that whole concept of having the signature talk built around the irresistible offer is so powerful to have the main dish. Whatever it is, each of us as entrepreneurs has a different dish, but whatever that dish is, and it can be, as Lisa was saying, for professional service, it might be that next appointment. For someone else, it may be a product, it may be a service, whatever it is. And then create and develop the aligned bonuses and limiters, making sure, scarcity is very powerful, both time and quantity. Taking that, though, and really incorporating it into your overall marketing so that you can make a difference is huge. Lisa, I want to thank you for sharing your insights, making those resources available. I want to encourage, again, everyone to go, download the ebook, take and really listen to the webinar. Not all of us can have dinner with Lisa. I got lucky that time, and I know we are incorporating her ideas into our business. You should too. Your future clients are counting on you. We wish you the best of success.
Exceptional, remarkable breakthroughs. AESNation.com.